out of town on family business. Mr. Oswald. Okay, if I'll entertain a motion now, we, on our minutes, we have 2 minutes, May 14th and June 11th. We did not approve May, and also, Jeff, you have a correction on April.
Yeah, in your packet, on the April 9th, I found a paragraph that was duplicated. So you'll see on your packet the April 9th minutes on page 2, there's a paragraph that has lines through it. Needs your approval to delete that paragraph, amend those minutes.
And basically, that's the March entry for that.
Yes.
Amendment. It's not actually a duplicate in April.
No, not in April.
We can do this by all told, or we can do one at a time.
I make a motion that we accept both minutes and with the exemptions that Jeff.
Second.
Got a motion, accept all minutes, except for the correction, and the correction too.
Yes.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Okay, we have several department heads that are not here tonight. Our police chief, he's here. Wade's here. Fire department, now he's on vacation. County's here. Parks, they've got a big convention going on at the Grand Center tonight. And Chandler's off to a training seminar tonight. So if you have anything you want to bring up to the gentleman that's already here, or to me, on any issues, I'll open it up for the council.
I did attend the Parks meeting on Monday. Wanted to point out that they have 3 items that they wanted to bring to the council's attention. First of all, they have a banquet tonight, as you mentioned. 10, 13-year-old baseball teams here in Harrison this weekend. And one team is bringing 70 parents and fans besides the team. And they drove 600 miles to be here to Harrison. So that's a feather in their cap for sure. They did finish the softball field on the backside of the complex, the refurbishment of that field for use by the softball teams. And 2 local area high schools will be using those fields as their home fields in the future. So that will add to the business. And then the last thing is they're going to have a program much like the summer rec program that they currently do for the children kindergarten or 1st grade through 6th grade. But they're going to have this during the holidays for the 2 weeks, the week prior to Christmas and the week after, for people that don't have a place for their kids to go during the holidays. That will be on a daily basis as opposed to currently at the summer rec program. They can do it both by the week or by the day. And of course, the last item of note is the commission went into executive session to discuss the termination of an employee. There's an ongoing investigation, so there's been no further information released, but I'm sure that they will do so in due course. And that's everything from Parks.
Thank you. Anybody else got anything you want to bring up? Ask any questions to the department head?
Adding to what Mitch said, this morning at the CATPC meeting, Chuck had mentioned to us that they were doing real good, expecting a lot of turnout for the games and everything, but he also brought it to our attention that the tarps at some of the fields were going to need to be replaced. So Matt and the CBB is going to kind of look into maybe helping them out with that a little bit. So we'll see.
Those tarps make a difference between not having games or having games.
We need to get as many people here as we can.
Does that depend on whether Matt has the hamburger of his choice or doesn't have the hamburger of his choice?
He's going to make them from spider webs himself.
Okay, we'll get down any committee reports. Joe, do you have anything?
No.
Mr. Knight, have anything else?
No, sir. Well, Finance Committee, yeah. You should have got your June financials. I don't know if you had a chance to look at them. Good news once again, so far year to date, we're $109,000 ahead of our deficit for the general fund. And that's about a 60-40 split between revenues and expenses. I did want to ask Luke and Wade, I noticed that our Carol Boone usage is up. I assume that's due to the rate increases in that volume.
Correct.
But our sale within Harrison of the water is, revenues are down. So I thought we approved the rate increase to kind of cover some of that.
Well, rate increase will only go up on CPI, and we had a rate increase last month.
Yeah, but he's on the
We did the
CPI, so
quarter.
we'll be on
Part of
Next.
that is that there's a month difference there we pay for.
Okay.
And you know, we're reading, for some, we're reading the first of the month to the first of the month. And so really all their usage wasn't with that quarter, so we bumped it to
Bumped
the
it.
next month.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, Wade, you wanna add to that on our meters, if you wanna say anything about our new meters, probably a good time maybe.
Yeah, a quick update on the meter project. We, as of close of business yesterday, we had 3,028 new meters in the ground. So we're over halfway there, well over halfway there on the meter installs. I expect them to continue through August, getting those done. We, the software install,
We actually just installed all the BSNA software today onto our machines to do, so we could play around with and kind of test out with the test company. Everything went real well, and so now we just gotta dig in there and see what we can play around with, see what all the new fancy buttons are for. And also I think they've done about 1.8 million dollars in draws so far on the project.
So we're up, I think, to that point, we were at 700,000.
Yeah, they did another 1.1 this next. They didn't get it in on time, so it didn't hit till
All right.
July.
The last thing I'll mention is property tax receipts were down for the month in the general revenues, and they're up for the year. But I'd remind council that we had some months earlier where they were actually above budget, so we were concerned that we might see a drop in a month or two. So I think that's what we're seeing. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Boswell, I think we have General Brian Dole here with us.
He probably likes that title in general,
Okay.
but I'll defer to you or Brian, just make
Go
sure.
ahead, go ahead.
Brian,
I would love that title
and the paycheck.
and the paycheck for sure, the retirement check anyway. Mayor, council, it's good to be back. Sorry it took so long to get back. As I explained earlier, the statements of support had gone out of date because it did not have the correct Secretary of Defense on there. And I knew if I brought the wrong stuff in here, somebody would get me.
No.
But anyway, as you can see, I put in front of each one of you a folder, and on the inside is the statement of support. These are for you guys to keep, frame them, hang them up, display them in your offices, or wherever you need to put them until most useful. So you can sign them and hang on to them.
Well, if anybody, audience might need to know,
Oh, I'm sorry.
this is a statement of support by our city for the Guard and the Reserve, what it is. If you want to read some of it.
I will read the whole thing. The statement of support for the Guard and Reserve. We recognize the Guard and Reserve are essential to the strength of our nation and the well-being of our communities. In the highest American tradition, patriotic men and women of the Guard and Reserve serve voluntarily in an honorable and vital profession. They train to respond to their community and their country in time of need. They deserve the support of every segment of our society. If these volunteer forces are to continue to serve our nation, increased public understanding is required of the essential role of the Guard and Reserve in preserving our national security. Just a little blurb here of what ESGR is. ESGR is Employer Supported Guard and Reserve, is a Department of Defense agency that seeks to promote a culture in which all American employers support and value the military service of their employees. We recognize outstanding employer support, increase awareness of the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act, or USERRA law, assist service members in obtaining employment and resolve employee-employer conflicts as it relates to the military service through mediation. We also facilitate the employment of veterans. So that's just a little rundown of what we do. You're going to see more and more ESGR functions and more and more literature and stuff as time comes and we get new contracts to get everything printed up and passed out. So, Mayor, thank you.
Well, thank you. I would like to say the city does have several people in the Guard and Reserve.
Yes, sir. I know that the fire department has a couple. I know the police department has a couple. City Works, I think, has one or two now. So yeah, the more support they can get from the community and their employers, the better it is for them. It makes life a lot easier.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thanks, Brian.
That's a good promotion you got.
That's all I have.
Ms. Gregor, do you have anything?
No, I'm working on scheduling a meeting of the cemetery.
Thank you. Ryan's not here. He didn't bring anything to me or,
Didn't need either.
hey, Mrs. Taylor.
We've got the commercial zoning of South Pine Street from a C2 to a C3. Since I was not here, I will let you.
Okay, we'll put on there for a second reading of the zoning from a C2 to C3 to the table tonight. We already had one reading on it. We've already had discussion on the issue. I will not take any discussion this time. I'll put it to the table for motion at this time. Put it to the table motion second time. Table motion third time. Decide for like a motion. Okay. Okay, we'll continue on. Any old business, council? Okay, we have a contract that's been presented to y'all from North Arkansas Medical Center. And it's on a exclusive ambulance service within our city limits. Have anybody got any questions? Everybody read that contract? We had one that they presented and Van gratefully redid the thing and wrote it up. Now, the copies you have may not have a correction on them. I might want to clear something up here, just in case. We had to make a correction on the first page, the last sentence. And your original one said the city shall be required to provide funding. Well, the city shall not be required to provide funding is the way the new one's written. So, just a little nod out, as a nod out there.
That's a good thing.
Very critical work.
3 little letters.
Yeah. Okay, I'll entertain a motion. This is a resolution also.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion second. I didn't get anything out of my mouth there. I have a motion second on this resolution already, in discussion on this resolution. There being no discussion, all those in favor by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Resolution carried. Okay, we'll move on down to, my comments. I don't have a lot tonight, so. But we do have from the CATPC, Matt, I don't know if I need to let you up there and speak tonight or not, but,
I better stand up
just
Housing board first,
Timing.
maybe.
But anyway, we have presented from the CATPC Commission a new member, and that, they'd like to appoint Mr. Nathan Patton, and Mr. Patton is right here. And he is a manager of Brick Oven, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'll entertain a motion for approval to add him to the CATPC.
Make a motion to approve, Mr.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
Do they have to be as big as Matt to be on the board? I
I think I've got him beat.
Well, I didn't say which way big, I just said,
I really thought he'd bring pizza tonight.
Nathan, do you want to tell
That's a good
everybody a little
idea.
bit about yourself? I know where you're
I'm with Brick Oven Pizza. I've been there 3.5 years since the store is open. I'm from Harrison. I grew up here. I graduated from Harrison. I went to Valley before that. So I'm based here. My community's here. I've been with Harrison. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want me to talk?
No?
no.
Okay, I have a motion on the table for approval and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, by aye?
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Mr. Patton, you're now on the CATP committee. Okay. I don't know, was in their packet a appointment for the housing commission? That didn't go in there.
It's just on the minutes, that's all.
Well, since Shonda's not here tonight, she didn't want me to bring it up, so I'll dispense with that item tonight. Okay, I'm gonna open it up here for anybody in the audience like to say anything.
I've got one thing for you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
And feel free to pick one of these up. If you guys haven't heard, this Saturday coming up is a Christmas in July celebration down at Mini Paris Park. It's open to the public, totally free, fun games for the kids, with the proceeds going to benefit the Boone County Christmas Pack Party, which what that is Tammy Weathers with Gecko Graphics has put this group together to raise money for toys and stuff like that for our own less privileged children at Christmas. So, again, the event's open to the public, totally free, Saturday from 11 to 5, Mini Paris Park. That's it.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience like to stand up?
I'd like to invite all these people to come back to our next meeting. It's good to see
Well, yeah.
citizens here.
Glad to have
I'll be here.
We'll hold you accountable for that.
Next meeting may be 4 hours long though, too.
Hey, you hush up, no.
Okay.
Move for adjournment.
I'll entertain a motion for adjournment then.
Move.
Second.
Motion second, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Well, all those opposed, stay here.